This statistic says that 60% of the average American diet is ultra-processed foods. If you think about that, more than half of what most Americans eat is ultra-processed foods.
You're watching Developing Potential with Diana Keuilian.
Welcome back, friends. Today we're talking about how do we feed our families to make sure that we're healthy and to really avoid this crazy statistic. And I'm going to share this with you. Poor diet is now said to kill 11 million people every single year. Let's just let that sink in. Poor diet and poor nutrition is killing 11 million people per year. And those are scary statistics. You know, I love to talk about health and fitness, and I love eating healthy and making healthy recipes, mainly because, you know, I like to look good, I like to feel good. But really, the underlying issue is that poor diet is killing people. And that is crazy. Now, I got that statistic from my friend Shawn Stevenson's brand new book. It came out 2 days ago. The guy is brilliant. His podcast is The Model Health Show, and he and his wife are good friends of myself and Bedros. They love to eat as much as we do, so it's very fun to go out with them. And they're also just vibrant people who are living their passion, living their purpose to help others become healthier. And, you know, when you hear Shawn's story, how he's really helped himself first and figured out what he should eat and how he should live to be healthy. And he tells his story better than I ever would. So you can find him at the Model Health Show. But what's really cool is he's written several books. And now this most recent one, it's really directed at families and helping us really answer that question, like, what do we feed our families? And how do we avoid being part of that statistic of, you know, the people who are literally bad diet and poor nutrition is killing them. Shawn shares another statistic in this book, and this one's crazy, and it hits kind of close to home for me because I have 2 teenagers at home. This statistic says that 60% of the average American diet is ultra-processed foods. If you think about that, more than half of what most Americans eat is ultra-processed foods. And I say this hits close to home because I have 2 teenagers, and you know, today with all the convenience foods and with, you know, the kids have packed schedules and, you know, they're at school and then they got practice and then they got work. And there's just so much happening where, you know, avoiding having packaged snacks is really tough. It's really tough. And I would say today, like getting, you know, having yourself or your child's processed foods down to 0% is almost impossible today. But what can we do about this 60% stat? Because we know, and there's a lot of great science in Shawn's book and his other books, he goes into a lot of this as well, about how real foods are the answer. You know, and it's like, we know this. We know that ultra-processed foods aren't the best thing for us. But I think it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like it's okay to eat the ultra-processed foods because everyone else is. It's so the standard. I mean, if you look at all of the other kids at school and you look at their lunches, like there's processed foods. It's part of how we live. And yet, Shawn's warning us and letting us know, like, hey, the science and the statistics that are coming out show that we are on a path to just horrendous health problems. And we see it happening. You know, obesity is just one part of it. And obesity is something that we can see, right? People are putting on weight. But what's happening to our health on the inside when we're eating all of these processed foods? So Shawn's answer and this beautiful, beautiful cookbook. I so appreciate cookbooks with like amazing pictures. My favorite picture in here by far is his Boss Burger, which I will show you. His Boss Burger. I mean, look at that. Looks so freaking good. But, you know, it's simple stuff. It's simple recipes using wholesome, real ingredients, right? It's not rocket science, but it's a great reminder for us. And Shawn gives a lot of education in the first part of the book about how do we do this? Like, how do you practically make healthy family dinners part of your life? And he talks about your family culture and how, your family culture really determines what your kids are going to eat. And it's going to determine how close is your child's diet going to be to that 60% ultra-processed foods. How can we make that 60% 10% or 5%, right? And so Shawn is a father. They have a beautiful family. And so this is stuff that he's lived. And I love people who, he's an expert because he has all the education, but he's really an expert because he lives it. His kids are healthy, and it's part of his real life. So I pulled out a few of my favorite tips from the beginning of Shawn's book. And this one, I know I should do this more, but he talks about the importance of drinking water right when you wake up. And he calls it an inner bath, which I love that analogy of just thinking about flushing away the toxins. And Shawn recommends 17 ounces of water right when you wake up in the morning. And I am not good with this at all. This is like, one of the things for my wellness routine. It's so simple. And Bejos models it for me every single day because he brings a huge thing of water and he drinks it right when he wakes up. And I'm always like 30 minutes into my morning, then I'll drink some water. So this is one thing that I'm going to start right away is 17 ounces of water on the nightstand, wake up, drink the water, flush out the toxins, and really start setting the tone for a healthy day, right? Healthy nutrition. The next thing that Shawn likes to talk about is mental food. And with mental food, he's really referring to getting some piece of wisdom or content from a book, from a podcast. Maybe you listen to my podcast. Something that's going to inspire you. It's going to motivate you. It's going to educate you towards your goals. And I love this. This is so part of my life, taking in good information that I know is going to nourish me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and just help me with my life purpose. And so he talks about mental food, which I thought was cute. And then moving your body, right? I love how, all the smartest people in the world who make beautiful books and teach us things, like we're all saying the same thing. If you really listen and pay attention, it's like drink water, use your mind, put good things into your mind, move your body, right? Use your muscles, and then take breaks from food. And the way Shawn explains it is like eat when you're ready. I think our society is so driven to make us eat. And we know this, and this is part of the problem. And that, 60% of our diet being ultra-processed food, these ultra-processed foods are marketed and pushed on us so well and with such intensity that you can fall into this feeling of like, I have to eat every 2 hours. I got to have this. This package says it has this benefit for me. And really just feeling like I got to eat all this stuff. And Shawn's like, look, like your body has its own rhythm. Like eat when you're ready. And I've talked on previous episodes about how I've been doing a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window and how my body's completely adjusted to that time frame and how it feels so good now that I'm in the rhythm of that and not having that pressure to think about food or to eat food all throughout the day. So when you think about it, the ultra-processed foods are the things that are quick, they're on the go. And with my eating schedule, like I'm very intentional about my meal at the end of the day. And let me tell you, it's real foods because I'm not waiting to eat all day and then eating like packaged snacks. Like, no, I'm having real foods. I'm having salad. I'm having meat. I'm having vegetables. I'm ending it with fruit. And Shawn talks about different eating windows because he is a proponent of fasting. Really, the overall message of Shawn's beautiful cookbook, Eat Smarter, the Family Cookbook, is prioritize real food. And it's so simple when we really look at it, but eating real foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, meats, and just getting those in our diet in a way that pushes out some of those processed foods. And really, the science is there, the living proof is there that this is the way for us to gift good health to the next generation. I've always felt such a responsibility to my kids to set them up for success with their bodies, and making sure that they understand and appreciate healthy, real, whole foods, and that they know that this is the bulk of my diet. This is the main stuff that we eat. And then the packaged stuff and the processed stuff, this is really peripheral. This is occasional, but this isn't a diet. And Shawn does such a great job of really giving us this message. And then there's 100 recipes. So the recipes, they're simple, they're delicious, gorgeous photos of them. I can't wait to make all of them. But it's simple stuff, guys. It's real foods, real ingredients, and just making that a priority. So I wanted to share this with you. It just came out 2 days ago. I'm so proud of my friend Shawn. I hope that you will check his book out and really I hope this is a reminder to you to really prioritize real foods for yourself, for your family. Drink that water first thing in the morning and give yourself that mental food. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back next week with another episode. If you like this content, subscribe, share it with someone who could use it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching Developing Potential with Diana Keuilian.